everyone. We're in the studio. Hi. We're with Chris, my husband, as you've seen on Instagram. He will be showing how he's going to gesso a cradled panel. So he's showing you the back of it. Chris, can you explain to everyone what the materials are for the cradled panel, which your dad makes for me?
Okay. Oops. All right. So let's start with the front part. So this is, I think it's 5mm oil tempered hardboard or 4mm oil tempered hardboard. This is, we got this from the local timber merchant. The sides here. This material here is, I think it's 9-ply.
Show the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is 9-ply birch, and then it's been reinforced with this. It's quite a large board, 30 by 30 inches, so it needs reinforcing on the back. These types of boards, I mean, we were able to buy them when we were in America all those years ago, and then when we moved here, they didn't have them. So me and my dad started, experimenting and trying to make them, and we did make them in the end. And well, my dad's the one who makes them now because I'm busy.
Yeah, you have a real job.
I have a real job.
You have a proper job.
No, that's all right. Anyway, so this is what we have: the deep-edged cradled panel.
Yes, 1.5 inches deep.
1.5 inches deep.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So let's talk about why you need to gesso a board. So we're going to start. I'll tell you that you can't paint. Here, you check that I'm in the camera. You can't use oil paint directly on this with, because this is not a good surface. It can't adhere. It's kind of slippery. So the gesso, which is basically, I think it has chalk in it, and it makes an absorbent ground that you put on your surface, and you have multiple layers so that it can adhere to, the paint can adhere to it well, and it won't fall off of your surface. And then your board will be primed for oil paint. If you're doing acrylic painting, maybe, I think they have some gessos where you can just do one ground and, with a thick layer, and use a medium and then go over it. And that's pretty easy. But with oil paint, you need to be careful because you don't want the paint to fall off the board as it dries. And you don't want it to be too absorbent where it sucks all the oil out of the painting and makes it look dull. So, okay, here we go. Let's get this started. Okay. Chris is going to show you the type of gesso.
All right. You see it okay?
Down, closer. Down, closer. There you go.
There you go. All right. So we've used various different kinds of gesso. Lately, we've been using the Studio Acrylics Auxiliaries Gesso, which you see here is white by PBO. Used other kinds as well. They've been very good. This one we're using because it just dries very nice and smooth. You don't need to do too much sanding. You still need to sand, obviously, between layers. But yeah, this is a very nice one. It dries pretty quickly. Well, gesso tends to dry quickly anyway, about half an hour to an hour for each layer. Right, so I'll get going. Oh yes, before I do that, I use a roller. I keep...
Put it in the middle there.
Yeah. So I put cling film over it so that it doesn't completely dry out. And there we go. Doesn't have any bits on it. That's pretty good. I just tend to check for bits of dry gesso so it doesn't go back on the board and everything. So
you want to show up close when you... Yeah, show that up close because they can't see it.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Dib dab.
Dip, dip.
Dib dib dab dib. Now normally I wouldn't do this right away because I would do the sides. I'll still do the sides first, but this is just to show you.
Yeah. Chris gessos the sides because I paint the sides white with white acrylic paint when I'm done with the paintings. Usually galleries, contemporary galleries anyway, like the edge finished in white. And with the gesso on the side, it just helps because I would have to do multiple coats. And it's not something I like to do. So this just makes it easier for me. And also about the roller, you don't have to use a roller if you don't want. You can use a brush. It'll give you some texture to this. Ooh, that's loud.
Is that good?
Yeah, that looks good.
All right.
It gives texture to your surface, and if that's what you like, then that'll work too. This is just how how I like it. It's just a personal preference. I didn't know you do the sides first. I always thought you did it last.
No, I do the sides first because when I'm doing the sides, I can have my hand on here and support it.
Okay.
If I've done the top first, then that makes it very difficult.
Oh yeah.
And believe me, I have done it before without realising, and I've had to get my hand a bit gessoed.
Yeah.
And then re-gesso the top. Oop. Do you know?
Well, there's a little bit on there.
Is there?
Yeah, lift it up. There's a little.
I think it's a bit of the board more than it.
No, it's a little. Yeah, do that again. Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
All right.
And how many coats do you do on the edges? What is it? 2?
I used to do 2, but now I do the same as I do on the top, so 3 layers, and I sand between the layers as well on the sides. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you sand on the sides, but that's why it's so smooth.
That is why it's so smooth. And then you do your own little layer of acrylic after you've finished.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of any paint that may have spilled over on the edge.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Start a little bit away from the edge because if I go here, then it's going to spill all over. So.
So are you starting with a thin layer first, or do you use a thick amount of gesso?
Well, I think I want to try and make it a decent layer.
Mm-hmm. But not too sloppily thick because
not too sloppy thick, no.
Yeah.
I do it section by section.
And how long does the whole process take, you think? From, doing the edges to doing the layers and then the last sanding? How long do you think?
If I were to not sort of finish a layer, go into the house and chill and do something else and come back out hours later, I reckon if I were to do it as quickly as possible, it might take me 2 to 3 hours. And that includes
well, that's
drying
if the heat's on.
That's if the heat's on, yeah.
Yeah, because it dries quicker when it's warmer. And I do have heat and air conditioning in the studio, so it does make a nice climate in here for things to dry when it's cold outside. That looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So after layer 1 is done, we will let this dry, and then we'll come back and you can watch the sanding
and then the
process.
Second, and then the second layer.
And then the second layer that will go on. So We will see you in a bit.
Alright. A sufficient amount of time has passed and it is now dry, so we can sand it and sand the sides, and then we'll put another layer of gesso on. Alright. Circular motions. You may notice the lines in the canvas. If you see that, that's nothing to worry about. That gets gessoed over with thicker gesso, and that disappears and everything.
Wait, tell them why you're turning the...
Oh, right, okay. Well, what I'm doing now, yes, you need to turn it 90 degrees for each gesso, so that you're going in the opposite direction of where you gessoed last, okay?
Mm-hmm. For better coverage.
For better coverage, exactly. So
you went up and down.
I went up and down. I'm doing the sides. I'm just sanding the sides right now. I don't need an awful lot. It's quite smooth anyway. I turn it around like that. I do the next one.
Oh, I forgot to turn the light on.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
I'm silly.
Silly.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're getting the hang of this thing, aren't we? There we go.
Okay.
That's better. Now it has more light.
No, it doesn't. You need to
It
turn
doesn't?
it on.
Oh.
Just turn it on. There you
Ah.
are. Right. I do that, and then that's that. So here we go.
You did all four?
Yeah, I did all four.
And then so it's going, which direction is it going now? The old ones they're going from right to left now.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going right to left. So now you're going to gesso up and down.
Gesso up and down. But first I'm going to do the sides.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's right. So I'm going to start off. I start off with this going up and down, because I'll end up with it the other way. You'll see.
So you didn't dip it in the paint again?
Didn't need to. It's got plenty
of paint on it.
Plenty of gesso on it already.
I mean gesso, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot to put on your apron.
I did. Oh dear.
Video continuity ruined.
Oh. Never mind, eh? You'd think we're new to this whole YouTube game.
I know. Well, we are kind of new.
We are new to it.
Well, yeah, because we're getting back into long form filming after a very long hiatus, like
many years.
Well, because the first videos I did, that was in 2010, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, and then I think I did some other ones after that. Yeah, I think it's been, 7 years, I think,
yeah.
or more. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We also noticed that we keep saying so we're gonna have to work on that too for our next videos.
Yeah, we're gonna stop saying no more ums and ers.
Yeah.
Oh, there's fewer anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready? I start a little bit away from the edge, see, so I don't spill over it.
Yeah, it doesn't spill over the edge, and because then you'd have a lot to sand if it was too thick on the edges there, and would look odd, you know. Did a little bit there though.
Yes.
Yeah, you're getting better coverage now. You can see it in the video.
Yeah, that's good. And the roller I'm using, I don't know if I mentioned before, but it's one of those spongy rollers. So that.
And where'd you get it from?
Any old hardware store. any old place. I mean, here in the UK we got B&Q.
And we did have Home Base, funny enough, until recently, which they closed down now. But yeah, I thought it was funny because I remember in LA we had home bases, and then they disappeared. And then when we moved here, I thought, hey, there's a home base.
Little bits of dry gesso on there, you've got to be careful. But anyway, it can easily be sorted as you're doing it.
Any other info or tidbits about gessoing or your process? No?
Well, it's you see I'm doing it section by section, and then what you didn't see in the last sort of like take when we did the first layer, I then went all over it again just to make it as smooth and as even as possible.
Okay, well we'll show it now then.
Yeah, we'll show it now. This will be...
Yeah, and then what's the other thing? I was forgetting. Oh, you're going to do this process one more time.
Yeah, after this.
Right, because this is the second coat.
Yeah, this is the second coat.
So, one more time. But you might do 4. We're going to try out that, right?
We'll try 4. You know, you can do it as many times as you like.
Yeah, you can do it as many times. It's up to you, but you need to do at least more than 3 layers. With sanding in between. And you want to sand your final layer if you want a smoother texture. But if you like the kind of, it's not grainy, but it has a kind of a subtle texture to it. And if you don't mind that in your paintings, and you don't have to sand the last layer, it's really up to you. And then I wait a full, 24 hours, just so that the gesso can cure and fully dry. You don't want it to be slightly wet and then you're putting oil paint on it. It will, the painting will not stand up well, over time. So make sure that the gesso was really, really dry before I start a painting.
How's that look?
I think that looks really good.
Ooh,
but aren't you... I'm
going to do one more pass.
Yeah, one more pass. Just to make sure it's all covered and even.
Just...
All right. Well, that's it. That's the process. And for our first video, back on YouTube, I think, we were going to gesso anyway today. So I thought, why not film it and see how it goes. I hope it was informative, wasn't too boring. Please leave in the comments below other videos you would like to see. On my website, I will have even longer painting tutorials, but those will be for a small fee to watch those. But, for videos that are about 10 minutes to 20 minutes long, it would be nice to hear what you would like to see and learn from me about painting, oil painting, studio practices. Oh, I said again. What else? Oh, and a day in the life of an artist, or maybe want to see around our town of Sudbury. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.